Recently, I watched all the Pitch Perfect movies for the first time, and the character I liked the most was played by Rebel Wilson. She was comfortable in who she was, she took up space, and she seemed genuinely amused by herself, and that energy was so attractive. Those movies made me think about something really important about attractiveness that we almost never talk about. Attractiveness increases the moment attention moves away from external evaluation to internal approval. The second you stop asking, how do I look compared to others, and start living from, I love who I am, your energy changes. So in this video, I want to share 9 habits to help you feel attractive by appreciating what already makes you you. Habits that instantly shift your focus back to yourself and help you feel attractive without changing a single thing about how you look, because you're already pretty great. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Veronika. On this channel, I make videos on self-improvement, sustainable habits, and creating a life you love. Before we continue, I want to invite you guys to join my free weekly newsletter called Aligned. Every week, I send you an email with my personal reflections, all the new lessons I'm learning, and things I don't always talk about here on YouTube. So if you want to receive this kind of exclusive content from me every single week, you can join my free weekly newsletter by clicking the link in the description. Alright, so the first habit that I love to practice when I notice that I'm being very self-critical towards myself is writing a difference list. The first thing that I want you to do is just write a list and call it everything that is different about me. For example, in my case, what I usually write is, I'm not a native English speaker, but I make videos in English. My eyebrows are different shapes. My hair is very fine. I don't like small talk, and because of that, sometimes it's hard for me to talk to new people. And once you're done writing this list, I want you to do something very simple but super powerful. I want you to cross out the title. You rename the list to everything I love about myself, everything that makes me me. Not because these things suddenly changed, but because the story you're telling yourself about them did. This practice has been so powerful to me because I feel like we all struggle with negative self-talk. Sometimes it happens and I feel like I'm not alone here. And instead of feeling like, okay, right now I'm creating a YouTube video, it is something that I really like doing, but I'm not a native English speaker. And so sometimes it's hard for me to like form sentences. I feel like I'm really overcomplicating things and I might feel like, oh my God, why can't I just say it? You know, why do I make so many mistakes? And instead of telling myself that this is something that makes you different, this is why it's so hard for you, I can remind myself that this is something that I actually really, really love about myself because it's me. And so sometimes I feel like when you're stuck in this negative loop of this is everything that makes me different, like why am I so weird? Why am I so different? Rename it. This is something that makes you unique. This is something that makes you you. Habit number 2 that made me feel more attractive instantly is consuming less aspirational sameness. What I mean by that is reducing your exposure to creators who look the same, who move the same, or live the same way, or speak the same way. So does it mean that I should start looking like them? Obviously no, but I think subconsciously it trains our brains to believe that there is only one correct way to live, to look, to dress. And when you repeatedly see the same face, the same body type, the same lifestyle, those things become framed as ideal and your brain starts using them as a measuring stick. And the problem is, real humans are diverse. We're all so different, and this is exactly what makes us beautiful. Feeling attractive doesn't come from matching a specific template. It comes from feeling at home in your own body and in your own identity. I start noticing that the more sameness I consume, the harder it becomes to remember that all of my differences were never a flaw to begin with. Habit number 3, reclaim the features you were taught to minimize. The thing is, as kids, a lot of us were taught to like, don't be loud. Why are you laughing so hard? It's kind of weird. Stop taking up space. Stop taking up all of this attention. As a result, we start, hushing away from all of those things that make us us, and we start being afraid of taking up space, of showing people that this is who I am, and this is my personality, and this is what I like. One One thing that I experienced a lot when I was in school is I was taught so many times that I had to stop asking questions. I was always a very curious kid. I loved to be a nerd, to do my homework. I felt like I had to silence my natural curiosity. And because of that, I often felt really bored at school. And it took me so many years to finally accept that I love to learn. There are so many areas where I love to be a nerd and I love to talk to people about all of those things. I don't need to minimize those things, those features about myself anymore. They are the ones that truly make me unique. Next up, let's talk about our habit number 4, treat your body as an ally. I used to struggle with my body image so much, and for a very long time, I couldn't really find a type of movement, like working out, that I actually enjoyed. I always had this thought in my head, how does it look? Instead of how does it make me feel? Or what does it allow me to do? I was treating my body as a project, and exercise was something that just had to be done. Everyone was doing this, so I had to go and do this too. But the moment I changed my approach to working out and moving my body, I just started feeling so much more aligned, and my body, my nervous system were finally able to relax. Now I view exercising not as punishing myself or, testing my discipline, but as a way to thank my body and help myself feel stronger and more flexible. I think in general, moving towards yoga has been such an incredible and rewarding experience for me. I always feel like I can take yoga with me. When I was doing research for this video, I saw a lot of people on Reddit talk about hip opening movement, like in yoga or in dance, for example, to kind of tune into your sensuality. And when I was doing my yoga teacher training, I learned that the hip area is where your sacral chakra is. It's traditionally associated with being creative, with pleasure, with emotional expression. And I think most of us have very similar sedentary lifestyles. Our hips become so tense and they turn into this major area for holding all the stress in the body. If you have already found what works for you, something that makes you really tune into your body, something that helps you thank your body and be grateful for what your body is already giving you and help it feel its best, that is absolutely amazing. The next subtle habit that makes me feel instantly more attractive is choosing clothes for sensation. Not just the way I look in those clothes, but mostly the way I feel. Comfort, texture, movement. This habit works so great for me because it pulls my attention from how I'm being seen and back into how I'm actually feeling. When you choose clothes that feel good on your skin, that move with your body, that let you breathe, your nervous system can finally relax. I remember one time I bought a very pretty dress, but it had a corset, and the corset was extremely stiff, and I literally could not take a breath. Oh my god, I look so pretty, I look stunning. But how did I feel? I felt horrible because it was just so restrictive. I hated that feeling. And so I really wanted to switch from constantly thinking how perfectly something looks on me to how present and at ease I feel right now. Comfort isn't boring. Comfort creates grounded confidence. And grounded confidence is always more attractive than performing in an outfit you can't wait to take off. Habit number 6 that I really like to practice is romanticizing my actual life. Not the upgraded version, not the absolute best version, but the one I'm currently living. And no, you cannot buy anything new. Because I think this principle of romanticizing your life has been quite misunderstood on social media. It's like you can only start romanticizing your life when you buy something, and it has to be very specific, because on social media, romanticizing your life often looks like an aesthetic. You have to have the right apartment, you have to drive the right car. But when romanticizing becomes conditional, I'll only feel good when my life looks like this. It currently reinforces the idea that your current life isn't enough yet. And when you live from that place, it's not enough yet, you're always focusing your attention on what's missing, not on what your life already contains. And so romanticizing your actual life is all about teaching you how to notice notice amazing, beautiful, wonderful things that are already in your life. This way, you stop treating your present moment as a waiting room. You start noticing beauty, meaning, and softness in things that are already yours. Your routine, your body as it is today, your relationships, your pace. Habit number 7 that instantly makes you feel more attractive is naming the traits you admire in others that you already have. When we admire someone, we often assume that they possess something extra special that we're missing. And this creates this huge distance between you and this other person. But psychologically, admiration works like a mirror. We notice and value traits that we already recognize in ourselves, even if we express them differently or more quietly. Let's say you admire someone else's confidence, and instead of saying, "Oh my god, this person is so confident and I just always lack confidence," pause for a second and try to look for ways that you also express and show your confidence. You already have confidence, but maybe it shows up differently. When you admire someone else's discipline, let's say, instead of saying that, "Oh my god, this person is so organized and I am just always a mess," notice the ways in which you already show consistency. Maybe it's gonna be in other areas, but you definitely have discipline too. The moment you realize that I admire something because it already lives in me, comparison turns into recognition. You stop placing other people on a pedestal and start seeing yourself as part of the same human life. Alright, now let's talk about habit number 8. Speak about yourself without disclaimers. It's, when you say things like, "It might be a stupid question, but," and then you ask your question. "I'm probably wrong, but," and then you say the thing you wanted to say. "Sorry if it doesn't make sense, but," and then you continue your thought. When you remove all of these disclaimers, nothing dramatic changes about what you say, because you're still gonna say what you wanted to say, right? But something so important changes in your energy and how you see yourself. You stop asking for permission to exist in the conversation, and you just say or ask the thing that you wanted to ask. You basically stop shrinking yourself before you start speaking. So let's stop downgrading ourselves and let's remove all of those disclaimers. We don't need them. Alright, and the final habit that has been helping me tune back into myself is practicing non-optimization days. I'm a person who really likes to read self-improvement books, non-fiction books, learning something new all the time. And in the past, I struggled so much with always wanting to perfect myself, always wanting to optimize myself. And the moment that I allowed myself to just exist, I finally started building this rested confidence. Just like being confident in who I am without optimizing anything, without changing anything. This is who I am and I'm great. Because when you're always optimizing, you start getting your confidence from that. It turns into this effortful confidence. When I do something, I feel valuable, I feel productive, I feel amazing. And I think joy without explanation, without adding productivity into the mix, is so important for us. It's so important for our nervous system. Just doing things because you like doing things, not thinking about optimization, not thinking about productivity and self-improvement. All of those things really help you come back to yourself, to who you are, without this constant self-improvement. Alright guys, I think it's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really hope you liked it. And now that you know what habits can make you feel instantly more attractive, the next thing is understanding how to create a daily routine that you really love. To learn the framework that I like to follow and all of my principles, click here. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you in my next video.